we go. Take one and see me in the morning.
Yes.
When you're playing live, how do you get your sound?
This is my main guitar on tour, the TE Personal. This is a custom shop made by Andy Allen, and I have 3 of them on the road. Sometimes, I mean, depending, when I'm touring in America and I'm using a bus, I carry 4 or 5 guitars because I can. You know, when you're flying around the way we do, you got to carry the minimum that you need. But the truth is, I could do the whole show with just 1 guitar. But what happens if I break a string? What happens if something, the batteries go flat in the middle of the show? Well, so I always carry 3. First of all, let me tell you that my sound man, Steve Law, is awesome, and he's my main weapon live. He makes it sound so natural, and that's a great thing. So him and I work together. Everything that I'm playing through is set flat, so you got all the frequencies laid out there, right? So I come out of the Maiden into a tuner. The only pedal I have on stage is a tuner that mutes, right? I come out of that, I go into a preamp, which is made by Udo Rosner, the same as the AER.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have the preamp, and that's a big, fat signal that goes straight into the PA. Then I come out of that and go into the Udo Rosner amp, and we come out of the amp into the PA as well. So there's a direct signal, and there's the amp signal. So it's 2 separate signals, but I don't know exactly how Steve does it, but he brings the 2 together. And so what you're getting is all the frequencies that you like.
Oh, that's brilliant. So you've done probably countless gigs by now. Have you got any funny gig stories you can share with us?
Oh, well, there's been a few times where the power has gone out in the whole town or in the hall, and I've had to finish the show just acoustically, just pull out the feedback buster, unplug, go to the edge of the stage and play just acoustically. Some places, like, I remember I played a show in New Guinea above Australia, and they hadn't had many shows up there. And I remember walking around the crowd with a little torch in my mouth because there was no light. The power kept going out because they'd never drawn that much power out of PA and lights. And as soon as I started playing, all the power went out. Yeah, so there are those kind of things. And I think everybody has a story of going on stage with your fly undone. But I've been pretty lucky that my stuff is so simple. I'm kid compact on the road. I carry my sound man, who's also my tour manager. I carry my lighting guy, who's also like my guitar caddy. I don't have a guitar tech. I'm the guitar tech. I don't want people touching my guitars. I know how to set it up how I like it. And I carry merchandise people. Other than that, it's just us, and we keep it simple.
So at the moment, we talked a little bit about your mates on the custom shop, TE Personal. Could we have a look at the Larrivee?
Back in the 90s, I was living at the home of Chet Atkins and his wife, and Chet and I were playing every Monday night at a place called Cafe Milano, which no longer exists in Nashville. And one night, there was a family of long-haired, bearded people right in the front, having the time of their lives. And we finished the show, and they came backstage, and it was John Larrivee and his wife and his sons. And he'd never seen me or heard of me. I was a complete stranger to him. And he came up to me and he said, "Your music was fantastic, and where are you staying?" And I said, "I'm over at Chet's house." And I gave him the address, and the next day a taxi came over with a guitar like this, but it's the C10 that has the real shiny finish, right? And it has the angel up, and it has all the pearl work and everything. It's just gorgeous guitar. And I opened the case, and there was a note in it, and it said, how much he loved the show and everything. And please accept this as a gift. There are no strings attached.
Wow.
Yeah. So he just wanted to give me that guitar. And as you can imagine, that was 96. As you can imagine, that guitar just has frequencies. It's a completely different beast to this one. But this guitar has no pickup. It's just an acoustic guitar. This guitar is great for everything I need for touring. It records great. This is a different sound. It's more complex as far as the low mid-range goes, and there's different highs because it's rosewood. And so when John Jr. came to me and said, we want to build a tribute guitar to you. Can we do that? And will Maiten be okay about it? And I rang them and they said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And so I said to him, well, it can't be, electrified because Maiten already have that covered. So let's just make the best and most affordable, good acoustic guitar. So that we decided to go with the unfancy, no pearl work and stuff. Keep it simple, keep the price down, but the quality, there. So you can hear. Incredibly loud, even, sweet. It's got all the frequencies, So for my money, it's probably the best just acoustic instrument in that price range that there is.
From someone that's at the top of their game, do you have any tips for people learning the acoustic guitar or just trying to make headway with it?
Yeah, learn some good songs. Songs are our teacher. All that awards don't feed the family. Me working hard and getting out there and making a living is, people forget to talk about that stuff. But, if you're a musician, that's great, but you've still got to make a living. You've still got a family to feed and bills to pay like everybody else. And people are always saying, why do you work so hard? It's like, well, first of all, I love working hard and I get better. The harder I work, the better I get. But, I've got responsibilities and I've got a mortgage and a car payment like everybody else, And so it's important that you realize that and live in the real world. There were some guys playing in a pub the other day, and I really felt for them because nobody was listening to them, right? But that's what you get for playing in a pub. And the thing is, they were quite happy doing that, and I knew that. I could tell just by the way their kind of demeanor. And I said, yeah, these guys know they're earning a living, even if they're not, being the entertainment factor. They're still playing music and they're still getting paid for it. God bless them, I did that for so long. I played in restaurants and bars and places where nobody listened. And I said to myself, I'm a concert player. I'm going to get there. I just have to get through this and make a living,
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, it's true.
When I listen to your playing, there's lots of different influences in there.
Uh-huh.
Who would you say is your biggest?
Well, I'm a songs player and I'm a songs writer. So, my technique, it's a combination of listening to Chet Atkins, Merle Travis, and Jerry Reed. They're the kind of pillars, right? But then you've got James Burton, Albert Lee, the Beatles, and just everyone else. I grew up listening to country music and blues music and stuff, and jazz. Django Reinhardt is still one of my biggest influences and one of my all-time favorites. So my style has evolved, and it's kind of like, I think I was probably in my mid-30s, which is 30 years ago, when I realized, oh, this is my sound, this is my voice, this is who I am. And it's a good idea to make peace with that, because I can't be B.B. King. I can't be Segovia. I can't be Joe Satriani. I have to be me. And I have to find peace and acceptance in that and do the best I can. And then eventually what happens is you start to love the sound that you make. And that when you love that, you can pour yourself into it. And when you do that, people feel it. So if I I wrote a tune for my daughter Rachel, and I listened to Paul McCartney singing Blackbird 100 times and just let it go into me, just let it sink in. And then I wrote this song. It's nothing like Blackbird, but every time I play it, I get that feeling that that's where it came from. Oh, take two and see me in the morning. There it is, So, I think the importance of being a composer is what makes you different. There are a million people who've got more technique than I'll ever have, but I can write a song that can tell you a story, and you don't need words to understand what it's about. And I don't know how to explain that, but it's just how I've evolved as a writer and a player.
You're currently on a European tour. How many dates are you doing?
So we're playing in Belgium and in Antwerp, and then we go to Paris, and then we come in here to the UK. So it's been 2.5, nearly 3 years since I played here. I just want to tell you that I think the public in general are really hanging out for some entertainment, for some music, and to get out and do normal stuff. I just had 3 tours in America that were the biggest numbers I've ever played to, and the biggest merchandise sales of my entire life. People bought everything. We ran out of T-shirts, long sleeve T-shirts. The first night, they bought something like 300 T-shirts. It was like, how's this possible? It's just that people are saving money, and they're dying to get out and do something. So, I'm just hoping and praying that the English folks are the same, and that they want to come out and have a good time. And it's another reason why I wanted Jerry Douglas to do this tour with me, because people have seen Jerry with the transatlantic sessions, and also with Alison Krauss in Union Station, but they've never seen him do his own thing. And I think this is going to be a great thing for people, because Jerry and I can work totally solo, but we also have a real good chemistry together.
Oh, brilliant. And you've got a few dates with Mike Dawes as well. He's a local lad.
Yeah.
Great Guitar Village customer. Incredible guitar player.
Oh, he's great, yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, Mike is managed by my manager, Brian Panix. And we saw Mike years ago, of course, on YouTube. And I said to my manager, let's get him on the dates because he's so different, I don't do all the things that Mike does. I don't do. I can't do. He does them, a guy like Andy McKee, I can't play the way he plays. And that's a good thing, you know. When I tour, I expect my opening act to bring something special to the night. So, you know, if I had another player who played a lot like me, and there are several, it will be too much of the same thing, you know. So I think a guy like Mike brings a different mojo to the night, you know. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
And I want to tell you that Mike and I just did the December tour together, and some dates in January, and we stayed in LA after the tour and recorded 5 songs, and that'll be coming out soon, an EP with me and Mike Dawes. So.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for spending the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it, and good luck on your tour.
Thanks a lot. There you go, something a little different.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. There you go. I haven't played it for so long.
That was something else.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. That was
Thank you so
brilliant.
much.
Honestly, it was. Oh yeah, that's
Thank
for
you
you,
so
Jack.
much.